Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Yondu. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at this Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Yondu. For the very first time, we are getting a comic Yondu for our 6-inch Marvel Legends. One of the original founding members of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So on this occasion, the branding makes a lot of sense. So we get Guardians there, Guardians up top, digital render on the front, boring plastic-free packaging. We do get a comic image on the side. On the back, another digital render, no cross sale, no bio. It only basically says he comes with one arrow as he's already holding his bow in the image. But yeah, no interchangeable hands, heads or anything. So very lackluster with accessories. Another digital render there. So without further ado, let's get him open. Here we have Yondu out of the packaging with all of his accessories, and it seems like he comes with quite a bit, but the reality is he doesn't really come with much at all. He's been to the barbers and had his fin shaved off, as his fin comes as a separate piece in the box. So you do have to attach your own fin. So it's easily done. It just sort of slide and snap into position like so. So now we have Yondu with his trademark fin, of course. There is a version of Yondu in the comics as well where he's had his fin removed, but this is a representation of how he originally appeared when he formed the Guardians of the Galaxy. So as I said, you need that big fin. He comes with his bow and quiver. The quiver has got the sculpted arrow, so it's just one solid piece of plastic. Not really a fan of that, but it is what it is. And yeah, that is basically Yondu here. He comes with his bow and arrow, his trademark yaka arrow. So for the price point, I would like to see it come with more, if I'm completely honest, as the body is reused from the Sunfire body mold. So you do have the double jointed pins in the knees and elbows. That's not the be all end all for me though. It's still a decent body type. For me, the most important thing is, does it look like the source material? Is it a solid representation of the character? And I think it is. Like, I'm just happy to have him in this scale, as I said, to accompany the Guardian of the Galaxy that we already have in our collection, but we still need a few more. But before I get into that, let's just do a little bit of explanation on Yondu. Yondu Udonta is a founding member of the original Guardians of the Galaxy from a distant and alternative future, and debuted in Marvel Superheroes 18 in 1969. The figure is based off his early looks in the comics during the 70s. A skilled marksman, he uses his unique yaka arrows and directs them with his whistling. Taking a closer look at Yondu here, even with it being a comic book figure, they are still using the digital face printing tech, and I think it looks really nice. Even with that blue skin, it just looks crisp, and yeah, no complaints with the face sculpt there at all, spinning all the way around. And as I said, because the fin was a separate piece, the break between the blue and the red plastic is nice and clean, so no complaints with the head sculpt. Zooming out just so you can see the silhouette of the fin, because it is quite tall. That is quite a sturdy plastic as well. That's not really got much flex to it, and it does sort of create a nice silhouette. Very accurate to the comic book page. Again, he had an awkward fin in that as well. So yeah, that does sit snugly and tight on the head, like I'm holding that now. So once it's clipped in there, that's not going to fall out if you're maneuver him around. Also creating a nice silhouette is the sort of quiver and bows, but the reality is those bows are all just one solid chunk of plastic, which is unfortunate, especially considering we can have extra arrows as we get one yaka arrow. So if we had 4 or 5 of these with a hollow quiver that you could actually put in the arrows, that would make a difference. This is done in gold, nice sculpted detail. I'm assuming this could be reused from a previous Hawkeye, just repainted, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, it works for its purpose, but I would prefer if that was hollow and had arrows. On the front of Yondu here, we get this gold strap that goes across the front, and then you actually have some metallic gold that breaks up the blue skin and then the red costume, and then you get the Guardians logo here done in gold metallic. Now, that's not inaccurate, but the one other Guardian we have is Vance Astro, who actually has that logo done with the colour. So I would have preferred this one to have the colour in it, but as I said, the gold isn't inaccurate. It was different from page to page. You get gold going down the arms, and that gives you a look at the double jointed pins on the arms, but you do get the deep butterfly joint, which you sort of need when you have a character wielding a bow and you're going to have to use that manipulation to get some decent poses. He's got his WWE Championship bout on display here. No sculpted detail, just done in that metallic gold. It does sort of hide the waist swivel, so the swivel is behind there, but it doesn't restrict it. He's got his red trunks on, slide cut all the way down to the boots. The boots are just done in a red pirate style. I'm sure these are reused for many legends, but it does have the boot swivel, ankle pivot rocker, double jointed pins on the knees, but still a decent enough range on them. They will go all the way up. On this arm, you get two gold bangles, which seem to be like glued in position. Again, just done in that same metallic gold that his bout and harness is done in. So it all matches nicely. But I'm sure that bangle that is going to restrict the double jointed elbow. And yes, it does. You do get more range on this one. Saying that though, it's not too much difference. Still going to be able to get him in some bow wielding poses. Here's his bow. So it's done in a thick gold plastic, and you can't see against my white studio lights, but there is a translucent sort of string there, which is quite a thick piece of plastic for what it is, and it's glued on both ends, so that's not coming off there at all. So you could probably use this to actually do some bow and arrow stuff yourself. So here's the bow. Let's see if we can actually make this work. Bit of a play feature. Ping, yeah, it works. It does work, but again, not something you're going to use for display. But at least that's not empty. There is something there to resemble what a bow and arrow would be, and that's done in a nice solid gold, and it will fit in both of his hands. No interchangeable hands, annoyingly, but they are two open palm gripping hands, which will grip the bow. But I'm noticing already, even having to figure out the box just for a few minutes, some chipping of the gold paint coming off the bow as I'm putting it into his hand. So definitely be careful of that. Now, it's not perfect, but you can still get him in some bow wielding poses, I suppose, as there is like a nub at the end of the yaka arrow that does sort of grip into his hands, but it would be better if there was a slit in the fingers. So I might try and just make a little slice in a minute, but as you can see, I've actually just got it balanced on the hand, and if I zoom out, you can sort of see what I've got going on here. So it still works for a pose. Undoubtedly, it doesn't not work. Still looks like Yondu. It's just not as natural as I would like. And do this at your own risk, but I have just made a little slit in between the fingers there, so it will grip hold of the arrow a lot nicer, because as I said, there is a little nub at the end of the arrow, as you can see. So now with that slice in the fingers, I can sort of just feed it in there, and he gets a much tighter grip on the arrow than he would otherwise. Moving to comparisons, and first, of course, bringing in the only other original founding member of the Guardians of the Galaxy we have in Marvel Legends, as we have Vance Astro and Yondu, who instantly make each other look better for the display. But of course, it isn't just these two we need. We need Charlie 27 and Martin X, and I'd even take a Starhawk as well, but we definitely need Charlie 27 and Martin X to complete those original 4 founding members. I like how both of these as well actually have that Guardians logo on their chest. Slight different colour, obviously, but not inaccurate from character to character. But hopefully we don't have to wait another 6 years or however long it's been to get another member. Just give us 2 more, Hasbro, and we're done. Here we have Star-Lord, who I've just done a full review for on the channel, so make sure you go and check that out, compared to Yondu, who of course led the original Guardians of the Galaxy in a distant alternative future. But Star-Lord does change his outfit and lead his own team, as we all know, but it is still nice to have both of these classic characters in their classic costume designs for our Marvel Legends Cosmic Collection. Here we have some more classic cosmic characters from the display, as we have Nova and Quasar. Here we have Adam Warlock and the former Herald of Galactus, the Fallen One. Here we have a couple of cosmic army builders with the Skrulls that look very similar to the Badoon. Now, the Badoon were the original sort of bad guys that made the Guardians of the Galaxy even form in the first place. They were protecting the galaxy from the Badoon. So maybe in the future, we could have some Badoon army builders for our cosmic shelves. And even though Yondu is from a distant alternative reality, they did sort of travel back in time to the regular 616 and interact with characters like the Avengers. So here we have Yondu compared to Captain America and Spider-Man. Here we have Yondu compared to some of the Who crew with Frogman, Tigra and White Rabbit. And then last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal, Fire, Hank. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Yondu. Now, I am very happy to finally get Yondu in his classic attire in this scale for our Cosmic Collections. Finally, Vance Astro has another original founding member of that very first Guardians team to accompany him on the shelf. It took years. Hopefully it doesn't take years to get the other two. We need Charlie 27 and Martin X to complete those 4 original founding members of this first Guardians team, which would make a great section of anyone's cosmic display. Now, is this an example of the best Marvel Legends can give us right now? Absolutely not. No, there is plenty of room for improvement here. They're using an older body, but it's not a bad body. So of course we could have pinless, we could have more accessories, even some more hands would really make a difference to the posing options and just to make it a little bit more expressive on a display, especially a marksman like Yondu. So for me, definitely more accessories here, different expressions with the face would have been great, but at least some extra hands, like that's not asking for much, is it? You can tell me what you think. You can love it, you can hate it. It is completely up to you. Let me know in the comments below. But as always, if you like Marvel Legends, and wow, you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit all on a notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well. Don't be shy. Tweet me, Dan Who Reviews. And as always, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.